It's not said that. So we say that the application layer is the layer that is very close to the user. That's the one that interfaces the user with the app is using. Possibly, it could be that you are using a browser or any software application. So it's this layer that interfaces you with your application for network communication. And I also say that we have different protocols on the application layer. I will make mention of very few of them. That very few of them are this. You can see these port numbers. I talked about port numbers the other time. FTP
Yes.
and all of that and all of that. And I said that we are going to do a little practical on them. Okay. Now, just quickly, I need to show you some things about some of them. Like, I'll talk about FTP practical wise, talk about this and email. But I already use a hosting site or a hosting server to talk about some things, explain some things you need to know practical wise. So I'll be opening a site, our site, that is our site is devtrain, devtrains.com. Network is not too good today. Oh. It's not really good at all. So this is our site. Now taking it, sorry. So our site is still loading. Now just know that if, for instance, you are employed as an IT person in a company, there's a possibility that the company might have websites and have their own company emails, third-party emails, and you may be given the opportunity, or most of the times, as in our country, most of the times you are there to manage some of the things on the site, like changing of email, sending some, creating of FTP, file servers, and so many other things I will need to show you. Now, for instance, now emails, someone can forget his or her email, and they now tell you to go and fix it, change the email or recover it and all of that, and maybe update the website or create a file server or create an account on a file server and all of that. I want to show you a little bit things there, so now know how to do some things on your own, basic things that they still expect you to know in our setting, like in Nigerian setting. Now, if for instance you want to have access to your server, your hosting server, for instance, if you are using IaaS cloud service, I mean infrastructure as a service, where you have other so many things available for you, like web, um, resources, storage, and all of that. Now, going to our web, let me just quickly go there. If for me to go to for me to have access to the admin of our web server or our hosting server, you need to type the name of your website, just as I just had typed now, slash cpanel. Can you see the screen, my address bar? Hello? I believe we can see my screen. Can we see my screen? Hello? Can you see my screen?
Oh,
I was asking whether you
oh,
can see my screen. So I
I
was
can
saying,
see your screen.
okay. So I was saying something before. I was saying, for you to have access to your hosting server has so many services available. Like your hosting server, generally, most of the hosting servers are giving infrastructure as a service, as in cloud service. Like they give you access to some resources, storage, RAM, and all of that. So for you to have admin access to it, you need to have cPanel. That's the admin access to it. So for you to have access to, you have to type to your website and type enter slash cPanel. cPanel. That's what I just entered. Devstrength.com slash cPanel. When you enter it, the username is what I'm trying to type in. Typing in the username. The Sorry, please, you need to give me some time. Let me get this thing out. Please hold on. I'm still here. HP D Q T HP QDT. Shit. I'm still with you. I'm just trying to type out the requirements. I am still here. Wow, this password is something else. I'm still here. Okay. So as I was saying before, that for you to have access to your cPanel, you need to have your username and password to it. Logging into it will help you to have admin rights and privileges to your web server. So that's what I just entered. I just entered our username and password for I just entered username and password for our cPanel account. How do I get into this place? I type devstrength.com slash cPanel. As soon as you click enter, it would pop up username and password. So I put the username and password and I press enter. Invalid. I didn't type it well or what? Oh, please hold on, please. HP QD Tommy. Uh-huh. 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 Hold on, I'm still here. Okay, made a mistake. Okay, super. So after doing um the login details, and it has opened. So these are the things that are available for me to do on my cloud service. That is on my information access as a service cloud service. Now look at this place. I hope we all can see the screen. Okay, the screen. So so look at the screen. There are so many things that are available for me to do. Like here in my email, on the email module, if I open email module, I'll be able to see the emails available or that have been created, see the emails that have been created, and all of that. Now, the person that have access to this place can actually read someone's mail because this one is an admin email. This is admission and all of that. I can actually open admin email. Like I can check the person's email from here. Well, I'm just telling you this because I just want you to know security, to understand security breaches on this kind of platform. That admin can actually open someone's email, can send email through here using someone's email. But that is the email. Sorry, that's confidential. So that's the email. I can actually open someone's email. I just want to let you know there is a possibility. Now, if I want to create email, I click on this. I click on create. Then the other things you can do on email, like manage. For instance, this guy forgot his password. I can change it. I can call me and put the new password. And after everything, I update the settings and give the person the email, the new password. The person um, can now change back and all of that. And also, you can allocate storage spaces for someone. Now, this one is unlimited. Whereas you can actually uh, limit the storage for a user. So I don't want to limit anything. But now, if you limit your storage for a user, it means that when you get to that limit, the person will no longer receive email. Can no longer receive email until the person deletes some of the emails to create more spaces. Now, the other thing you can also do here, you can allow all incoming email or suspend. Sending email, you can even suspend it or hold and all of that. So these are the things you can actually do on email and all of that. Then still on the emails, there are other things too. I won't go into all of that. Like see this, forwarders. There's an instance whereby maybe someone, the financial manager, left the job or something, and you know that someone like a financial manager, that office can be getting email even if the person is no more there. So it's not even good for you to delete email. Like for instance, if someone has left a company, you can't just go to email and delete email. I can actually delete email from here. Like if I click any particular one, there should be option to delete. I don't want to take risk here. Okay. If I click on this, there's delete. I can delete this email. So it's not good for you to delete someone's email, especially someone a sensitive position, finance admin, or some if the person has left. So the best thing you need to do if you need to work on the email, maybe the person has gone, is to change the password, just as I did before. Go to manage and change the password. So the person will not be outside. You no longer go outside and be accessing the email again. So that's just that. And also, if you are expecting emails on that email and the person has already left the job, you can actually do email forwarders. Any email that comes to that email should be forwarded to another email. So you can do that. And other things you can do with email, I can't talk about here. So that was first of all, that's number one. Now, under files, is on this place that you manage your files. Like you can create FTP account here. FTP account is a file transfer protocol account. This is a server already, FTP server. So, I'll come back to FTP here. Now, in file manager, this is where all your files are. Your files, both websites and all of that. So these are all your file, your directory, everything they're all here. Now, in this page, you need to be careful here because if you tamper with something here, you affect the website. Website will be having issues. Now, if you are designing a website or you are told to upload a file for the website folder stays here, this place, public HTML. So if I open it, I will see all the files and folders for the website. And the home page or the landing page, this particular one you're seeing here on this website, the file is this, is always indexed. If I delete this file, as I click now, if I click on delete, this site is gone, to be gone. Because that's the landing page before you now start checking why us, blah, 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 and all of that. Even that why us, if I don't know what the person saved it with. So they are all here, all the files are all here. So if you modify any particular one, if you want to update it, you just come here and click upload. If I click upload, it will ask me of the file. I select the file and upload. It will go there and stay. So that's that for web. This is where you deal with your web, whatever, web files and all of that. Now that's here. It's still here, public HTML. Now we still also have public FTP. In this particular FTP, I can create FTP account for user. Or let me go straight to this place. I came from file server. Now, FTP account. If possible in that, I don't want to give the person cPanel account. You can actually create FTP account for a user so that the user can upload file from his own system. Now, uploading file, the person can only have access to the file that you've already designated the person for. Like this is directory. The person can only have access to this particular one. So if I want to create account for the person, whatever name I want to create at devstrength.com, possibly, I can create someone like test at devstrength.com. This is the password, another password confirmation, and all of that after I create the account. So when I create the account, when I give the person the account, what the person needs to do now is that the person will now go and download FileZilla. FileZilla is a software. FileZilla. Yeah, is this software FileZilla. So the person will now download it. When you download it, that's as the one for client. That's the one that you will now use to have access to the FTP server I've created here on this account. So you can actually exchange files, send file, and take file. But you can't do any other thing apart from files. So that's that for that. Now this place is okay. Before I go back to that database, if I create email for someone, how will the person have access to that email? The person needs to go to devstrengths/webmail. Webmail. So it's here that the person will have access to his or her email that I've created. It's still loading. So the person puts his or her email here, then password. The email will open, just as I open it at the other place. Then, so, and again, if someone can decide that, I don't want to be viewing my email from my browser, I want to install it on my phone or on my Outlook as an app and all of that. Whenever you are installing it, You follow up with every requirement like email, password, as it's asking you, and all of that. Then there's always a point where they will ask you whether you want to use AMAP or POP3. AMAP 4 and POP3. I've explained what AMAP and POP3, what their different functionalities. Any server that is AMAP, configured to be AMAP 4, it means that if a client accesses any file on that server, the server will copy the file and paste on the client's device and still keep a copy on the server. So all our Yahoo Mail, Gmail, and all of that, they are all AMAP. But these are our third-party emails. You can actually uh, decide if you want to access the email through POP or through AMAP. Now, if it is POP, if you set it to be POP, it means that if you have access to that email through your phone, if you try to access that email again to your laptop, you can't see that email anymore. So for POP, it cuts and pastes on your device. It doesn't stay there anymore. So that's the difference between the two. Then that's for email. Then coming to the database. Database is if you have idea of how database, if I want to see the databases, I click here. If I want to put in more or even see more too, or I want to create more wizard and all of that. But I know that this thing has been passworded. If I click on it, I'm sure it's going to be passworded. Because this is a database that contains every file, the database records. I'm sure it's going to be passworded. It can't, I know it will be passworded. So that's just that. So that's for everything about database. If you have understanding about that, this one is metric, checking your visitors on site, bandwidth, and all of that. But security, like you see this site, the site is has a padlock. So it's this SSL TLS that helps to secure it. So when you want to secure any particular site, you click on this. Like if I'm hosting a site here as well, I don't know whether it has an account. You select the particular encryption certificate or encryption key you want to use and click on save. But you need to select the site. Hold on. It's like it's holding. Network is not too good to there. I don't want to do anything here. Just let's, but that's where, if you want to secure a site, like the site I'm hosting, is here that you go to. There are other things we can actually do, but this one is not our business for now and all of that. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that for your cPanel, although I'm not going to teach everything here, you need to know about your account, email account. This is where you create emails, you delete emails, you change passwords, you forward emails, and all of that. Then I thought about files, file manager. This is where you manage your files, update your files online, your website, and all of that. You can create your FTP account and give to someone. So the person will now have access to your file server, maybe to take a particular file or to upload files. And database is not a business, but you have anything to do. The security is when you want to secure your site so that this one is actually you are allowing this over HTTP. HTTP is the www dot what you used to type. www dot is a protocol. Is actually HTTP. Now we have HTTPS. HTTPS is HTTP over SSL, and a more advanced one is TLS. TLS, I've forgotten what you mean, but SSL is, I think, a secured layer. We can check that on internet. I don't even have that offhand. Even SSH is still there. But here is about security, how to secure your site and all of that. So that's just the summary of maybe what I want to show you. But because of the fact that I can't talk about everything, I just want to give you a highlight of things about application uh, protocols. Like in this place, Although there's not much practical, we didn't do much practical. Just here, we dealt with um, I just want to see if I can explain things about emails. That is POP and IMAP. Although I didn't configure email here, like doing it for us to see and testing it. But this is just where we do it. Then files, I didn't test it anyway. I just this is why I'm exposing us to this is that in case even if you're employed or if you're given access to work on this and as IT person, you just need to know what you are doing. And it's not that difficult. There's not really much thing in it. If you open it, you can just read it and it's GUI. So
Hello,
the
hello, sir.
yeah.
Although I lost communication when you were starting this. I want to know, is this application meant for to host a server, to host a domain or what?
Okay, this is actually a hosting server. Now
Okay,
when you want to have a website, you will write
yes,
the website, design it on your computer. Now it's only you that can see it. If you want the
yes,
whole world to be able to have access to it, you need to
access it.
yes, you now need to host it. Now, when you are hosting it, most of the hosting companies they not just give you hosting service as a cloud service. They give you some other services too. Like what they actually give is infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service gives you access to a lot of things, your resources, storage, speed, processor, and all of that. So in your hosting company, don't just it's not only uh, keeping your files like here, file manager. They still give you other services like FTP, see other email, and so many other services, database. So they're not just giving you hosting service like web hosting. They're even giving you email hosting like this. You can host your email here, your web here, database, and all of that. So it's just that when you, it depends on the hosting company anyway, but majority of them do give all of this access and more. So just that, I just open our own dev train, our own server, hosting server.
Okay.
So I just open our
So
own.
you host for you host website for your clients.
Yes, we host. Yeah. No, I host. DevTrain has a contractor that hosted for them. Designer. I still do my own personal. I do write design websites and
Okay,
host as well. So
okay.
yeah. Except you have any other question, any other person have any other question? Because I have like 5 minutes to go off and come back. Except there's any question. If there's no questions, I need to go off and come back. So we are coming back again. Let me go and come back.